Hi, and welcome to Esther's Gardening Adventures. I'm Esther, and today I thought I would just share with you a couple of things during my lunch break. One, I have gotten experimental with my sunflower plants, and two, a little snack I'm having from my garden already, and just such a simple little pleasure from it. So let's go see. As is often the case with me gardening, I plant way more than I know where to put. I've been pretty good about the vegetables, at least for the peppers this year, about planning where I'm going to put a lot of the ones that I've planted, but for the flowers, I'm realizing I have a lot more than I have space for. So yesterday, I was thinking during my lunch break, what can I do with the big sunflowers? I love those pictures of the sunflowers peeking over the top of the fence, right? Like coming over the top of the fence. And like when I walk down the street, there's this one house that has sunflowers lined up. Just, you could see them over the fence, and it's just such a neat thing. And I thought, I can't really put them next to the shed because we have a family of groundhogs down there, and there had been a volunteer sunflower last spring that every time it got more than a couple inches tall, the groundhogs ate until it just stopped trying. So I can't put it over there, and there isn't really space. I was toying with the idea of putting them in my shade bed, and then I'm like, no, I'm not sure if they would cause a huge shadow. I'm not sure how much they would disrupt the space for other things. And I'd rather have smaller flowers like nasturtiums or things like that in those beds. And then all of a sudden it occurred to me, I have this 6 to 8 inch gap between this fence. Oh my God, guys, a bumblebee. Can you see him? Where'd he go? He just came to visit and say hi. All right, so I have this gap. You could see over here, for example, between my new fence and the deck that came with the house, this thing. And it's always a pain. You can see the holly growing there. It's just a pain. I have to pull out the holly. It just really doesn't go to any use, but it gets a decent amount of sun during the day, and especially if we have a plant that would grow taller than the fence, it'll get plenty of sun. So I have experimented, and this might be a royal failure, but I'm gonna try it. I grabbed a couple of bags of black cow manure, a little perlite, and I filled in the gap there. And I know you're not supposed to have moisture up against your wood because it'll break it down sooner, but honestly, it's okay. It's 1 year and it's an experiment. And I planted, these are the Mammoth Sunflowers. I planted 3 of them. There's a little one, gave them plenty of space. And they perked up today pretty well. This one was leaning way out here trying to get the sun earlier, and it looks like it's gone back a little bit. But guys, what do you think? Is that going to be enough space? There's plenty of room down underneath for the roots to go, even under the deck. You can see the deck is only like 6 inches off the ground, maybe a foot off the ground. And there's definitely nutrition here. And if they grow fast enough, they'll have nice sunlight. So I don't know, guys. Now, here's the other thing. I don't really have space for mammoth sunflowers anywhere else in my garden, but I really want them. And so this is going to be my experiment for this year. If they fail royally and I still want them, I will try another thing next year. Or I still might try another thing if they fail, but yay! Also, there could be a frost that kills them all. So that's another part of the experiment. But guys, I'm just so thrilled. And imagine this, coming out the back door and seeing these guys over the fence, potentially even providing shade to the deck. I mean, how neat of a view would that be, coming out the door to let the dogs out? I mean, that's just, it makes me pretty happy. All right, let's go see my other thing. So my sugar snap pea sprouts are getting pretty good size, and I planted 2 per hole, and I'm realizing it's about the time that I need to start taking out 1 of each set that grew in pairs. And today, earlier, I had a nice little snack. So I just came down. So there's 2 of these guys. Oh man, it's hard to pick between them. They both look so good. Let's see. I think this one's a little bit taller, but this one's got more leaves. I don't know. Okay. Just pinching them off. Try not to disturb the soil too much in case the other one, don't want to disturb the other one. Look guys, a beautiful pea sprout that's about to be my snack. Here goes. It tastes like spring. Oh, I know I should have rinsed it, but that is a lovely flavor. And I shared some with my husband. I rinsed them off for him, of course. He said, oh, it tastes so good. So I might take my time thinning out these and just having a couple every day when I really need something to kind of make me feel like there's hope for having vegetables very soon. Here's the last thing I want to show you. Last night, I realized that this bed is way too big for its own size, and I really didn't want to spend a lot of space for a path, but I added these across and I can, you know, walk across. At least for now. I might need to add a little thicker of a path, but it'll at least give me a way to get across the bed and be able to help plant things or whatever. But here's the bigger thing. I planted my autumn beauty sunflowers here. They're not as big as the mammoth sunflowers, and they're looking pretty good actually for having transplanted them last night. These were winter sown, and if you haven't heard of winter sowing before, it's basically growing seedlings in jugs that you put outside for the whole winter that then you transplant in the spring and early summer into your garden instead of growing them indoors under grow lights. And look how healthy these guys look. Now I've heard transplanting them at this size can be challenging because they don't like their roots disturbed. So we will have to see how they do. If they thrive, if they don't like the way I transplanted them or whatever. I gave them a good watering last night. You can see the soil is still pretty moist. So they should be good. And here's the other logic behind this. That these sunflowers will mostly cast shade in this direction and that direction. And a little bit this way. But this way is a path. And we'll also have the part shade flowers here, and you can see some critters. I'm digging up my bed that I made. That's all right. I can fix it. It used to look so pretty though. That's all right. I'll fix it. Everything's fine. So, yeah. We're well underway. Oh yeah, there's one other I forgot to mention. Although I could save it for this weekend. Maybe I'll save it for this weekend. Yeah. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button. If you aren't already a subscriber, please consider doing so. And make sure you have that bell button set on so that you get alerted when I post new content. And otherwise, I'll see you next time. And happy lunch break, everyone.